Good morning. Welcome to Winnipeg. Okay, so what's happening here today? Well, I'll tell you what's gonna happen according to the weatherman. If I'm gonna get out on my bike for a third ride this spring, I better do it this morning, because this afternoon, or later this evening, we could have about this much of the white stuff all over the place. Yep. There's what they call a Colorado low moving in, according to the weather office. Now, something just funny just came to mind here. Last year, when up here in Canada, we were having so much trouble with forest fires. And the smoke was drifting down into all over the place in the south. And somebody in New York was really, I guess it was bothering him. Well, I can understand it. It was bothering us too. And he made the comment about the smoke was so bad. What are you doing about it? And I think he was sort of half serious, like this was our fault. We weren't putting those fires out. Well, you know, what goes around comes around. Do you remember what happened in L.A.? People could say, well, what are you doing about it? Sometimes you just can't do nothing about Mother Nature. Okay, so this Colorado low is, they call it Colorado low because it sort of starts in that area. And our friend Jeff Donahue is from Colorado. And Jeff, what are you doing about it? Yeah, put that thing out before it comes up here to Canada and ruins my bike riding. Yeah, it'd be nice if it worked that way, you know, but we just can't do anything yet about Mother Nature. I know they talk about cloud seeding and stuff like that, but I don't know if it actually works. Okay. So, yeah, if I'm going to get out, I better do it this morning. Oh yeah. Yesterday I was going to mention about this, and I forgot. One of the viewers mentioned that, in fact, he sent a picture and showed that his was cracked, and then I was reading that there was probably 2 or 3 other comments as well saying that they had the same thing happen to these Revell Contactus glue. And I was surprised to find out that a lot of people didn't like this glue. I think it has something to do with the fact that it is not easy to use. It has its place, but it's like I said before, it's over here. And, you know, and if it was so wonderful, why is it when I want to glue something, I do not grab this? I grab the extra thin or something. For a minute there, I thought the lid was loose. Okay, yeah, the extra thin, and that works the best for me. Other people might go to this. You know, I'm reminded of when I was a kid and first getting into modeling, and we used to have our glue in those testers tubes. Remember? Yeah, and then they would kind of dry on the end, and you know, kids, you'll take and you put it in your mouth and you'll bite the end off, and then you'll get some fresh glue on the end of your tongue, and oh, that used to burn. Remember that? Maybe you don't remember it because you weren't that stupid. Maybe you were one of the smart kids. Anyway, we're going to get going here. We should be able to get well into step 9. I don't think we'll finish it today because it does require some photo etch railing. That'll be kind of fun in a way. It looks like it's going to be easy photo etch. Got a tickle in my throat. You know, yesterday in the video I was listening to it last night. Usually what I'll do is I'll listen to my clip before I actually use it and post it and stuff like that. But yesterday I was kind of strapped for time. I was doing other stuff. I wanted to get out on the bike, and so I didn't actually listen to a lot of it until later in the evening. And I noticed there was one spot where I coughed. Now, normally what I'll do is if I cough, and unless you see me, I will dub that out. And you'll never know what happened. Okay. Gee, I give away all my secrets, don't I? It doesn't matter. I'm not in this for money. Where are we going here? I think we pretty much covered everything. It's minus 6.4 right now. I don't think it's going to get really warm today. It might get up to around 0, which is 32 Fahrenheit. But I don't think so. I think we're going to have a few days of winter. Well, I said it could happen. And it can, and it almost always does. It gives you these few encouraging days, you know. False hope is what it is. Anyway, it's coming. Don't worry, summer is coming. And the green grass and leaves and flowers and birds tweeting. Yeah, it's all coming. But it won't be today. Okay. And there we go. We're ready for you know who. Oh, yesterday when I went on my motorcycle ride, and I did get out, and when I came back into, some of you have probably seen this already, when I came back at the end of the ride and was pulling up into the driveway, I saw Missy the dog outside, and I thought, oh good, because I knew I had a dog cookie in my pocket. I usually carry one. Because I quite often I'll run into her being taken out for a walk when I'm out. It just sort of works out that way. It's happened several times. All right, 3 or 4. And sure enough, there's Missy. And then I thought, you know, my GoPro has been running for a long time already, and because I had gone to the pharmacy to pick up a prescription, and what I should have done is I should have shut it off when I went in and then restarted it when I came out. But I just left it running and I thought I'll just dub everything out later. But the battery died just as I was pulling into the driveway. Isn't that funny? Yeah, anyway, I was able to show Missy being given her dog cookie using the surveillance system. My goodness, how did we get onto that? Yeah, let's I think we have to get a few more parts here, but we'll do that after we put these together. And I think that we're going to want to make sure that these are square, or maybe better still, I should get the hull back up here on the table, because these pieces actually fit into an area on the bow. And I think the thing to do is to put them in place with the positioning tongues, and then glue it, and that way for sure I'm going to have the angles just right. I think it goes anyway. We'll figure it out. Yeah. So maybe I'll do that. I'll get the hull back over here on the table and make some room. And it's not the biggest hull we've had. The biggest one was the submarine. Okay, let's get at it. Let's have some fun here today. At least we'll see what happens, and maybe around 10 o'clock this morning, if once it lightens up and the rush hour traffic, morning rush hour traffic is over, I'll go out on my bike and try and squeeze in one more ride, because it might not be happening now for a week or so. If we get this much snow, and especially if there's a wind, you know, we might only get this much snow, and you'll think, well, that's not too bad. You could shovel it. But a wind can put this much snow, you know, like a meter deep in places, and it happens. So yeah, we got all that. Remember on my when we watched Max and Missy, and I sometimes come back with the camera and I show that patch of snow that was on the roof, which would be just exactly straight above where we're sitting right now. That's where that patch of snow would be, and it got smaller and smaller and smaller and smaller. Well, last night it was completely gone. It was completely melted away. It might be back. Okay, let's have some fun here. Okay, if we page ahead here to step 29, and sounds like my poor little gong has gone about as long as it can go here. I wound it up a week ago last Saturday. So it's gone for what, 10 days? Something like that. Anyway, but it's still going. Okay, so yeah, this drops down. Let me zoom in a bit here. I may have to trim these pegs. Okay, now here is a case of that. It's probably only a fraction of a millimeter, but the foredeck here is a little bit too far back, or this one is too far ahead, because if I put this up like this, it just doesn't quite make it. So that means we're going to have to adjust our. What would be better here? Would it be maybe best thing might be to take this down right here, because we would want excuse me, other stuff to match up with this deck right here. This one goes in here. Yeah, this one fits almost perfectly. Just I don't want to force it. Okay, and then this one's got to go right in here like that. So my thinking had been that if I could plug these into the deck and then just lightly glue it, I'd have the angles right. But it looks to me like it's square. Yeah, it does look like it's supposed to be square, because it looks like it's even with the elevator well, or elevator where this thing goes down. Now, speaking of the elevators, so let me get this out of here now. Okay, I think what is supposed to happen is something like this is supposed to be fastened to the flight deck. Okay, this is part of the flight deck. I guess it'll go this way, because it seems to me that these things run this way, or do they run the other way? I can't remember. Anyway, it doesn't matter. So if a person was to be able to look underneath, you would see the detail here. But boy, I don't think we're going to see too much in this area right here at all. But we'll do our best here. And okay, yeah, I think. Okay, first of all, I do have to take these down. Where's Chris's file here? So I don't want to be getting, I was going to say sawdust. I don't want to be getting plastic filings all over this thing here. So I'll probably end up doing this off camera. Just take these down just a little bit and see if we can get them to plug in. And maybe what I'll do is this edge right here where it's coming up against this, just take it down just a smidge. Okay, just as I was about to try this here, I heard the neighbor's door, and Missy the dog is just going out right now for her constitutional here. See, why is this not fitting now? Okay, now the width is not fitting. The two of them together don't want to. Maybe if I move it like this. Yeah, it's got to go like that. That's the. Must be doing something wrong here. This is. Okay.
Hi, Uncle Ron.
Good morning, everybody.
Morning.
Good morning. Okay, Missy, you let me sit down. Good dog.
So, 6 to 10 inches of snow tonight and tomorrow.
I knew there was going to be at least, 10 centimeters, but yeah, well, I guess that,
And I'll be talking 15 to 25.
Oh boy. I didn't want to hear that. Yeah, I was just telling the viewers if I'm going to get out on my bike, I've got to do it this morning.
Yes. Yes, snow starts around maybe 3 o'clock.
3 o'clock?
I think so.
I got about 5 hours yet, I guess. But I was just thinking about it a minute ago, and I was thinking, do I really want to sit on my bike and freeze half to death? And because it is freezing out there.
And the answer was yes.
Well, the answer is no. Well, the answer is maybe. We'll see how it goes. Yeah, well, it was nice while it lasted.
Yes. I think March is going to come in like a lion and go out like a lion.
Well, this time what I'm going to do with the snow is I'm going to shovel it before it has a chance to turn to ice. Like the ice is pretty much melted there behind my bike box door.
Mm-hmm.
Well, if we get a bunch of snow there, I'm going to shovel it all away. And then hopefully when it warms up, it'll... that's Winterpeg. Hey, Missy, we live in Winterpeg.
Sometimes called murder pig.
Okay.
Highest murder rate in all of Canada.
It is?
Oh yeah, makes you feel so proud.
I didn't know that. Oh my goodness.
And that's with severe gun laws.
Hey, comes
Goodbye,
in.
Uncle Ron.
Bye, Missy. Oh, you're sneezing
Snort.
too. She's got a cold. We'll see you
He has
later.
an occasional morning snort. Some of us have a snort before we go to bed. But that's a different kind of snort. See you, Ron.
Yeah, we'll see you. Bye, Missy.
Nice and sunny.
It sure is.
It would be tempting to go today.
To look at the weather here right now, you wouldn't think a blizzard's coming.
No, you would. The temperature is -5, but it's going to warm up, I think, now.
Well, I hope so.
-2 or -1.
It's still minus.
Yes, with a north wind.
Yeah.
See you now.
We'll see ya. Oh my, oh my. And we were doing so good. Missy the dog. Missy the dog. Yeah, and we were doing so good. But as I've said so many times, this is Winterpeg. Okay, now we were having a problem here, weren't we? Yeah, we were having a problem here. It's almost like this whole assembly is just a little bit too wide to fit between here and here. So I'm going to have to see what is the problem here, because generally Trumpeter does really well when it comes to making their parts so that they all fit together. Now I do have this as close together as I can, and it is square, but it's probably not even half a millimeter. So I'm thinking that what I should do is, take Chris's file here and just, I don't. That's all I can do actually, and I'd hate to be getting plastic shavings all over there, but I guess I can always blow them out or vacuum them out very carefully. yeah, not very often you run into a problem like that. It almost goes. Almost goes. Now, when you look outside right now, you think it's nice and warm. Well, at least it was 2 days ago and yesterday. So you think it still is, but it's not. It's cold out there. Hey, Google, what is the temperature right now in Winnipeg?
The temperature in Winnipeg right now is -6 degrees.
Well, it's probably only they're usually a little bit behind, so it's probably minus 5. But yeah, like I said, I don't know if I want to be sitting on a motorcycle going along in -5. My grandfather used to have a saying, and it went, and he said it, I heard him say it several times, when in doubt, do nothing. And I'm sort of waffling back and forth here. Do I go out on my bike or don't I? I mean, you can see this storm coming in here. This is what they call a Colorado low. Now, Colorado is actually way down in this direction over here. So it might, anyway, I'm not a weatherman, so I can't argue with them. However, it's moving in. Now right here, Portage La Prairie that you see right there, that's only about 50 miles away. So it is really close. I'm thinking if I was to get out on my bike right now and let's move in a little bit closer to Winnipeg here, see if we can keep this thing running. Well, I guess I've ruined it now. But anyway, oh, here it comes. Okay, my house is right about here where the finger is on the little hand. That's about where my house is. And it's really close, and I think that, well, I'm in doubt, and I'm not going to go out. I got 2 good rides in. Let's just leave it at that. We'll wait until this passes and it melts, and in a few days well, spring is coming. It's coming. Okay, so here's what's been happening. I've got the F9 and the F18 glued in place here now. And what I've been doing is I've been trying to get everything so that it's going to be a kind of a loose fit. And that's not as loose as I would have liked. But you can see the way this is supposed to go here. The way the 9 and 18 are supposed to come up and fasten onto this part of the gunnel. Now this one's a little bit looser. What I'm afraid of is that when I glue this piece in place, and I think we can probably sort of wedge it in here. We'll get this. You can't see it, but there's a tongue here, and it's going into a slot. Okay, but you can see it on this side, and if I kind of bend it and pop it into place there, like that, and then you may have remembered there was 2, I guess you call them positioning whatevers. They go above and below the deck, just like that. Okay, now this whole thing is I don't know how well it's going to come in and out after this is glued in, because this is prying apart. I'm thinking maybe what I should do is take this back out and try and make this a little smaller. What I had done is, let me take this back out. Well, maybe I can get it like this. Okay. Okay, what I had done was I took my file and I filed this down so that this is not as thin where I'm touching, or thick rather, as it was. So that in effect allowed this thing to go together. Otherwise, it would not have gone together. It was just too tight. I don't think I've ever had any other kit that had to be modified as much as this one does, or did at this point. Yeah. Now, if I try to take this down, I don't think I can take it down evenly. And it's going to be sort of, you know, unless I was, this is where a milling machine would be really nice, but I don't have one. Okay. Got this glued up. The die is cast. We won't know until tomorrow when we can try and put it back on here and put some stress on it. Right now I'm afraid if I start working with it, it's going to come apart on me. So let's not rush it. But we're still in step number 9 here. And yeah, why can't I get the 9? Oh, there we go. And we got to make these pieces down here. I thought these would be done today already, but ran into too much problems with this. In fact, a lot of problems with this. As I mentioned before, I don't think I ever had to do as much filing and shaping as I have today, that I remember, that is. Okay, so we got to make these whatever it is, and we need J24, J25, C7, C8, and a couple of little pieces U27s, which I believe are these right here, whatever they are. I guess they'll make it looks. Oh, it's a gun. That's what it is. Yeah, there's some kind of a gun. But it doesn't look like anything else to attach to it. It just all stays together in one piece. No photo etch pieces go under, nothing. Okay, probably about 15 minutes ago I checked the radar weather again, and the storm is just west of the city here, a few miles, and there's a band of it just passing to the south of the city, but headed straight for us looks like some pretty heavy stuff. I know I've been talking about the weather a lot today, but that's because it's a big deal here at the moment. You know, we could get a blizzard really bad. But on the other hand, it could miss us altogether, and that's what I'm kind of hoping for. But I'll know tomorrow morning, because whatever's coming will have more or less passed over in the next 12 hours. I'm going to call her quits here for this afternoon. We've done kind of good. So thanks for watching, everybody. And all being well, we'll see you tomorrow.